Welcome to this Stockbox interview with Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals. Hello, Darren.
Hi, good morning, Mark. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good, very good.
Good. So I see it's been a rather busy week at Panther with 3 RNSs this week. You had some funding announced for Panther and you had 2 acquisitions, one on the Big Bear project and another on a project called the Dotted Lake. Can you explain maybe how these announcements fit in with the overall business picture?
Yeah, definitely. We announced the raising of 250,000 on Monday. As a company, we're far exceeding and outgrowing our sort of aims and ambitions set out in the prospectus released on our launch in January. And the absolute best thing for the company and shareholders was to bring in some money now, or I felt we could be at risk of putting ourselves in the hands of the market. And I've never ever witnessed a situation where things turn out positively for existing shareholders. It was 100% the right thing to do. And judging by the inbox and the phone calls, the interest far exceeded what was available. And that's always encouraging. And we announced the strategic acquisition of some more cells on and around the existing Big Bear project. That we've had our eyes on these for some time, and to finally get a deal over the line, that we feel we'll still see big benefits for the project and the business as this all develops. And the Dotted Lake acquisition announced yesterday morning. What was my overarching quest for a second property in Ontario? Absolutely not. But sometimes an opportunity comes along, and if you're in a position to strike and it makes commercial sense, you simply have to. This property is in one of the best areas for commercial gold production in the world. It's got great showings. It's had minimal work done on the ground, and the geology is very intriguing. From a logistical perspective, it's 50 or 60 miles from our existing property, the Big Bear project. And we've got all the required tools at our disposal, and it has great access also. So consequently, it puts almost no additional pressure on the business, but it allows us to work in an amazing environment for gold and commercial gold discoveries. We were able to review and complete on this transaction really quite quickly. And that was a requirement of doing the transaction at this kind of level. And that's reflected in how the deal's been structured and done.
And in terms of the overarching business and the business model, Darren, what can you tell us about that?
Well, look, Mark, it's been an exceptionally busy time for the company. This has been all about putting some really solid foundations in place, and the business has accelerated. And we've certainly been overwhelmed by the support and understanding as we drive this. We know what's required. We've built a board that's there to build an exploration company, and we're working diligently and to take us and the shareholders through to the next level. You've only got to look at the Big Bear project. The more we do, the more we get, the more information. And this is very much a drip feed sort of situation, but it becomes more and more intriguing as the weeks and months go by and we gather that information and really start to build it. It was a very fragmented property, and we've always stated we're going to have to put this together almost jigsaw type, putting the pieces all in place. And that's what we've done. And that's why we made those extra purchases that were announced this week. It's all part of that plan. And obviously over in Australia, in the Northern Territory, the Marikai project, we've announced that desktop study. We know it's got gold at surface. There's been huge volumes taken off of the ground by prospectors in the past. We know that it's got gold and at very shallow levels. We're talking about picking up 6 to 9 grams a ton from as low as from 2 meters. These drill holes have picked gold up from. And then, of course, we've got Anabaru. Anabaru has simply exceeded all expectations. And I genuinely don't think that the market has really understood as of yet what we've potentially uncovered at Anabaru, but that's understandable. Anabaru is Northern Territory, it's the Pine Creek, Oregon. There is loads of commercial gold production going on along this belt. And we've got a property here that we've uncovered 4 standalone large targets. There is underlying geology to support gold deposits in each of these structures. Now, the property itself is 95% underexplored. So we know we've got gold and on what they call the Annabrew Dome. And the Annabrew Dome has got what they call black soil cover over it. In the past, it's masked gold deposits on the Pine Creek, Oregon. And we've actually got gold that's leached through, and there's been gold found at surface over the Annabrew Dome. The fact that the gold has leached through the black soil cover, that's significant in our opinion. And we've got fault structures, we've got syncline structures there, we've got double plunging anticlines in other areas. Everything is pointing towards some really significant progress on that property. And we're now in a position that we can get onto the ground. We can get our boots on the ground. We can do work. I had £20,000 in the budget for Annabrew for this year. And clearly with the news that's been announced, that would be crazy for us and our shareholders. And we're at the moment, it's all hands to the pumps and planning to get that work program undertaken and get people in there. But look, people have got to remember here as well that when you look at the Big Bear project, what we're putting together there, when you look at Annabrew, Maracay, all of our properties are 100% owned. Every single one of them is free from underlying instruments or royalties. Anything we discover, anything we drive forward is totally to the benefit of the company and the shareholders. And that hasn't happened by accident. But Mark, it's becoming a bit of a catchphrase for me, but I couldn't be more delighted.
I mean, it seems to appear that Panther are bringing together the business model. The picture is becoming more clear, and I've noticed on Twitter you've had some you're putting out some updates, some helicopter footage, and you've been saying about work again happening on the ground, and it's sort of underway. So, how is the work going, and was there any news due out of Canada?
Yeah, well, we've as you've sort of alluded to, we've flown mag and electro mag. We have had sight of the initial data. Now you've got to always tread very carefully with that data. So we're waiting for the processing to take place, and we'd expect the core data back by, I would say, early August. We've had some sampling done, and we've dropped those in, and again, we're just waiting for those results to come through. I would expect them very soon. Under normal circumstances, I would probably be on the phone chasing up the labs to understand really where these results are, purely on the basis. But we've got to remember, in this COVID sort of dominated environment, you can't be too pushy, and nobody is able to operate exactly how we all did. But that should be coming through very soon. The guys started back on the ground this week in Canada. We initially started there. It seems like some time ago now, but in reality, it wasn't. It was only in the last couple of months. But we started off with an initial total work program, sort of 42 days on site, and that's for everyone. That's 2 people for 3 weeks. But they've since been back for another 3 weeks, and we've extended that program. We've added people in, and then we go again. We started on the ground early part of this week, and I'm going to update people as much as I can. Obviously, I have to operate within the rules and regs, but at the end of the day, nobody can forget that the shareholders own this business, so they should be aware of what's going on. And there's some interesting stuff there. And if I can share and educate and show people what we've got and what we're doing, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to help build people's knowledge, because that's ultimately my job.
Well, Darren, that's great. Thank you very much for coming on this morning and updating us and indeed the shareholders of Panther Metals.
Thanks for having me on, Mark. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.